What is going on out there? It's been a little quiet, I guess. I actually did a video, but I decided not to post it the other day because I wanted to wait on something. I spotted something that's happening in the marketplace and I thought it was interesting. And I see it come into fruition here. And I thought, man, before I post this video, let me make sure because I definitely don't want my foot to end up in my mouth, but I could just see it happening real quick. All right, now take a look at this. This is interesting because not just there, the stock market is climbing. And people are going, oh, because of the stimulus bill. No. That doesn't explain why this is climbing. All right, that should not. Sure, the market should have a positive reaction. Okay, but I'm talking about this thing was down in the 18,000s. It's now at 22, almost 22.4, and still climbing, which is very interesting to me considering the entire nation is pretty much on lockdown. It literally is, and it's still climbing, which is very interesting. Now, gold and silver, I told you guys that gold was going to take off. It was in the 1400s. It's now in the 1600s. If ever before, out of all of our investments, there was a time for you to start focusing on gold and silver, it's now, okay? It's right now, okay? So in my Facebook group, you guys, I'm going to post a video from Lynette Zhang. I really want you guys to watch her. She's a phenomenal analyst, and you can learn a lot from watching her videos. I'm a huge fan of hers, but in my group on Facebook, and for those of you speaking of, this is Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can follow it and go in there. I encourage everybody to come here. In the group, we talk about the Iraqi dinar, and the Vietnam dong, cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, as well as other investments, all right? So I encourage you all to come in here again. And so again, I'm going to post a video from Lynette Zhang. Now, people were asking me, I give confusing messages when it comes to cryptocurrencies because I always say, look, I'm not a fan of them, but I encourage people to, or I should say, I suggest that people look into them. Now, look, this is crazy because this was down around 13 cents XRP and are now at 17.51. Bitcoin is moving slightly, and Ethereum, I don't know what the hell is going on. I understand they just got into the red, but even so, this I'm anticipating this. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Bitcoin halving is coming. It's going to happen in halfway through May. So we got, about a month and a half before halving takes place for Bitcoin. If the value doesn't get up around 16,000 for Bitcoin, it's just not going to be feasible for people to mine it anymore. This can cause a huge backlash against the cryptocurrency world. Besides, most of the millionaires that are in China are 90% of those who mine Bitcoin. I can't imagine them allowing this to go on much longer. I'm anticipating a huge jump. This has got to jump. And so when Bitcoin goes, I'm expecting the rest of these currencies to follow along with it. Now, having said that, it's not that I bash, cryptocurrencies. Here's the deal real quick, man. So people want to know, hey, what's up? Okay, I tell you what's up. I have a problem with cryptocurrencies, especially since we just saw the Democrats of all people and the Rhino Republicans trying to push for a cryptocurrency to be used. Now, I've spoken before about the United States creating a stable dollar, but not just the United States, actually all of the central banks were encouraged to create a stable coin. What I don't like about it is this, and I told you there's a window of opportunities where I keep telling people for us to make money, but I absolutely have zero faith in there. No, cryptocurrencies, or I should say Bitcoin is not the new gold. If it was the new gold, it would have thrived when this market tanked. Okay, so it didn't. Instead, it responded the same way as the market did, which means this is a lot like a stock, not gold. Okay, and all those people out there going, no, gold is going to be better. And then, no, it's not. I mean, silver or Bitcoin, no, it's not. The problem that I have with the United States wanting to push us into a crypto wallet that our bank will have that you could just use just like your account is the fact that we have zero interest rates. And let me explain to you real quick what this means. So in Japan, they thought they were slick. They want to, the goal of the government is to get as much money as possible, to get as powerful as possible. They're greedy. They're all corrupt, okay? So what they were doing, they thought they were slick. What's another way we could screw people out of their money is basically what it comes down to. And what I mean by that is, look, if you hold your money, the pesky people to them is people who invest and those individuals who save. Okay, so, if they're saving and they're investing, that means they're not spending. If they're not spending, that means they have a lot of money. We don't want that. The governments don't want that. That's not their goal. Their goal is to enslave as many of us as possible. The more you rely on the government, the more they control you because they control your needs. So what did they do? They thought they were slick. There's countries like Japan and other ones that decided, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do 0% interest rates. Well, how does that affect us if your money is being invested in savings? It's great if you want to refi or buy a house because the interest rates are 0 or very, very low. That's great. If you want to buy land, it's a perfect opportunity. Right now is a perfect opportunity. But for you to just have your money sitting in a savings account or any kind of banking account like that, it actually right now is costing you money to have it in there. Now, what I mean by that is this. If there's 0% interest rate, that means it costs the bank money. It costs the bank money when it's that low. And the only way you make money on a savings account is if the bank makes money. So if they raise the interest rate, that means you get more money because they're using your money to lend out. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so if it's negative interest rate, that means it's costing the bank money. That means it's costing you money as long as your money's sitting there. Now in Japan, what they did is the people got smart and they took their money out and started keeping it in the house. That you actually earn money that way because the more you take out of circulation, the more valuable the money becomes. There's no fees for you storing your money in the bank, and the negative interest rates don't affect you. So this is why I'm against the government wanting to get us into cryptocurrencies, all right? If they get us into cryptocurrencies, what does that do? What are they telling us? We want to be a cashless society, and people holding cryptocurrencies are excited. This is good. Yeah, it is if you know what you're watching for, and it's a quick opportunity. But long term, no, it's not good. If we have a cashless society and it's all digital, one, what's to keep them from creating as many digital coins as they want? They'll make an excuse to increase the rate. Two, it's easier for them to steal your money and move large amounts of cryptocurrency than it is cash. Cash is pesky to these people. It takes a long time to print up a lot of it, and it's really hard to move large amounts. All right, and it's very costly for governments to do this, all right? But when it comes to cryptocurrency, hell, I could go in there, type something on my computer, and create a quadrillion of them, okay? And I can send it electronically instantaneously. Do you see how much more better that is for you? I mean, for them, the corrupt people to do this, than it is for money? This is why this is not a good idea. Because if they push everybody into cryptocurrencies and we go cashless, one, they can take your money anytime they want. They'll use an excuse, a bail-in. You got back taxes. With the IRS, you're guilty till proven innocent. Child support. Boom, they could just take your money. All right, bail-ins, bailouts, whatever. They could just take your money. Not only that, they could spy on and see everything that you're doing. Okay, they can monitor that, and I'm not okay with that. Do you really want the government knowing everything you spend your money on? Seriously, it's not their business. They're going to know every porn site and sex toy you buy. Of course, I'm just being silly, but you get my point. There are some things out there that you don't need the government knowing your business, all right? Okay, having said that, look, their goal is to get this there. That means they have access to your money anytime they want. And if they're cashless, guess what? If they draw a negative interest rate again, it's not like you can run down and take your money out of the account because it's digital. So instead of protecting yourself when it's a negative interest rate, you won't be able to do that. How are you going to take your cryptocurrencies out of the bank? You can't. This is how they're going to take the money away. This is how they can find a way for those investors and those people who save. This is how they take your money away, all right? They create more poor people, create more people dependent on the government. Cryptocurrencies aren't good. They're not good at all. I showed this before. Look at all the central banks. Look how they're all going to be the money network. XRP is going to be the ledger. This is why XRP, I told you, is good as well as Ethereum. So set a goal for XRP and buy them. Here's all the platforms. These are all the people that are going to start using cryptocurrencies. This means they're trying to monopolize a way to where you have no choice. So there's only one way to save yourself. There's only one way out of this. Sure, I keep saying buy cryptocurrencies. There is an opportunity. You can see they're going up right now. I just showed you. So if you bought on a dip like I told you, then you're going to make out like a champ, because back then it was around 13 cents. This is 17 cents, 17 and a half cents. So 13 cents, 1.4, you're already what? Almost 1/3 of the way up. You're 130% of where you were. That's not a bad return on your investment. Okay. But real quick, let's get back to here. You know, I won't be much longer. I'll get into Iraq here in a minute. Okay. There's only one way to protect yourself. All right. Gold and silver. And here's the thing. I told you, they have these people where they go, well, buy this and we'll hold your gold and silver for you. No, no, no. Don't do that. Because right now they just announced those storage places, those people who bought in the gold and silver that's being stocked somewhere else, like in these COMEXs or something like that. They just told the people they have to sell their shares. They forcing them right now while it's low. You want to know why? Because they don't have enough to cover what they sold. They sold more than they have. So they're forcing people now to sell their shares. If you don't, they'll sell it for you. So see, if it's not in your possession, you don't get to control what happens to it. So buy the gold and silver and keep it at home, because it's going to skyrocket. It's going to hit $10,000 an ounce for gold at the very least, and at least $1,100 for silver in the worst case scenario. That's going to happen. It's getting ready to happen here soon. So the cryptocurrencies are going to be used for a short period of time. People are going to rebel against it just for the same reasons why I told you. They're going to go to where Trump wants to put us in the first place, which is back into the gold standard. Make no mistake about it. It's going to happen. But first thing, like I said, I noticed the central banks everywhere are in the negative. Sure, that depletes you of your money, but at the same time, quantitative easing. I noticed that Trump has forced these guys to do quantitative easing. That's both good and bad. Now, if Trump is a bad guy, this is bad, because it's forcing the government to buy all kinds of stocks, all kinds of properties, and all kinds of assets and hold them. They're using the money from the Federal Reserve to hold them. Now, if that's the case, then the government turns around and they own everything and they could pretty much control you. That's if Trump isn't the good guy we hope he is. If Trump is the good guy, then what he's doing is he's forcing these private banks to spend all their money. And he's buying our debt with their money. What I'm hoping he does is then turn around and file some kind of bankruptcy, or turn around and sign some kind of executive order where those assets will be taken from the banks after they've spent most of their money, and then we move back into the gold standard. That's what I'm hoping happens, okay? But I told you guys, I think it's slick what Trump's doing. Now, either it's good or it's very, very bad. It depends. We're going to find out. So you can say what you want about Trump. The Cheeto Bambito is either a good guy, and he's forcing all these central banks to buy out all of our debt using quantitative easing, which is really slick, or if he's one of these bad guys, we're going to find out, because then he's using all of their money to buy up all of our assets, including stock, bonds, and other debt. Wouldn't be good. Okay, anyways, I just wanted to share that thing about why I think cryptocurrencies are bad. They are bad. But I'm also smart enough to realize there's a small window of opportunity in which you can benefit from that, all right? So just think, if you buy $10,000 worth of XRP when it's 13 cents, right now it'd be worth 13,000 in what? Just 2 weeks. 13,000. I'd say it's a pretty good little jump. All right. So there is a window of opportunity. I'm watching it, and then you should too. But I don't think it's a long-term investment. Now, blockchain is something different. Don't confuse the two. I've done that and had my ass chewed out by people in the out there watching my videos. Blockchain is a good technology, and it's going to make things very, very much faster. There's going to be a lot of business. I think the e-commerce is going to benefit from it greatly, but I just don't trust cryptocurrencies. There could be a combination of cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies that are gold backed. That is possible, but I don't trust them as the save all currency. All right. Okay. Once again, don't forget, I'll leave a link going to Pimpy's investment chat for you to join and come along. I'll also end there because a lot of people have been buying up a lot of cryptocurrencies. I'm telling you, it's good for now, but just, we have a small window of opportunity in which we could benefit from. And I just think the opportunity is possibly a year, maybe 2 years. All right. But I'm watching it every day. So I leave a link in there too. If you follow the link to where you can go buy cryptocurrencies, you can get right now. There's not only is there 10 free dollars just for joining, but if you go down to where it says earn cryptocurrencies, you can earn an extra $60. So if you haven't done this yet, sign into your Coinbase account, scroll down till you see a little blue box called, it says earn cryptos. Follow that. If you haven't done it yet, you could get a bunch of free cryptocurrencies. It's a few dollars worth. It's about $40, $60 worth if you haven't done that already. All right, I encourage you to do so. Let's get into Iraq. All right, sorry about the delay. So what do we got going on here? Washington informs Iraq to reduce its period. Okay, so for those of you who know, there's sanctions against Iran, and there's been some exemptions in which Iraq can deal with Iran. One of them is Iraq is allowed to buy electricity or energy from over there in Iraq while their grid was being restored. And so they used to be these exemptions that are about 90 days long. Well, the most recent one was 40 days long. It just got shortened to 30 is what this article is talking about. And the reason for that is retaliation for what Iran did to Iraq. I mean, us, by bombing us, okay? So again, I told you, they're really putting a chokehold on Iraq. They're really doing everything they can to force Iran out of Iraq, or at least to grasp on Iraq, because they're really interfering with their elections. They're interfering with their peace process. They're just a pain in the thorn of the butt of Iraq. The protesters want them out, and they should be out. But not just there. Syria, Yemen, and all those places, Iran has their 2 cents in. And why these countries haven't all turned on Iran yet, I have no idea. Oh, I know. That's because these people had their citizens turn over their guns, and now the people can't fight back. Another reason why you people should support the Second Amendment, and don't be one of these, like these people's countries, and go, oh, our government wouldn't do that to us. I'm sure that's what their citizens thought, and now look at, they can't even fight back to get rid of their government. That's really a tyrannical government, all right? Anyways, let's go over to this next article. Oh, yeah, anyways, just to top this off, look. We know that a bunch of the electric grid, well, I should say a good chunk of it, has been restored. There's still a lot more that needs to be done, but really what we're trying to do is get Iraq out of depending on Iran for anything. Okay, so International Monetary Fund requests a group of 20 to support double its emergency financing capability to fight the coronavirus. To me, I just think a lot of these central banks, as much as they're being depleted of their money, and I love to see that, and now the International Monetary Fund is getting involved, asking for more money to fight the coronavirus. See, it's one thing when each government asks their own central banks to get involved to help with quantitative easing. When the IMF does it, I kind of eyeball them. I don't trust them. To me, it just looks like they're trying to maneuver money around as much as possible to avoid taking this huge hit from this coronavirus. All right. It looks like they're trying to help people, but that's the thing about these type of, whether you call them the New World Order, Illuminati, the globalists, whatever you want to call them. They have mastered the ability to tell you that something is good for you, or that they're doing something that benefits you, when in fact it doesn't at all. They might do a little bit of something, but very little, just to make sure that it gives the impression that something's being done. So right now, the International Monetary Fund on Thursday asked the G20 leaders to support redoubling its emergency financing capability to strengthen its response to the rapid spread of the coronavirus, which is expected to cause a global recession in 2020. Okay? So, I don't think so. This thing is being overhyped. Don't get me wrong. It's serious, but I think it's a little ridiculous they got people on lockdown like they do. What I want to know is, we already know that in several cases of which there was controlled studies, the hydrochlorine, I think is what this is called, the malaria drug, let's call it that. The malaria drug has 100% success rate in curing people. So, having done that, why aren't they doing more? You know what I mean? Why aren't they doing more? I think it's funny that Trump said that it cures people. Then all of a sudden, a couple died from taking the aquarium cleaner version of it. And then the media went, no, look, Trump's wrong. These people took the medicine and they died. No, they didn't tell you that these people took the wrong version of it. Okay, so we can probably clear a lot of this out quickly if we use this drug. So it's being tested now. It's being, in my opinion, expedited, these studies. They've been talking about now for 6 weeks. why more people have not taken it. So we are losing people's lives for no reason, in my opinion. Trump passed a law called the right to try. For all you families out there, if you feel like you're losing a loved one, I don't know why you wouldn't recommend at least trying the medicine if you feel like that's your last hope. All right, anyways, let's get past that. You can see that the IMF is getting involved with having countries, the top 20 largest economies in the world, get involved with funding this. I just don't trust what they're claiming to do. All right, we'll see. Anyways, major oil companies. All right, so I said this a million times. I'll say it a million times more. The problem with Iraq is 95% of their economy is built around their oil production and how much money they get off it. The other day, I think oil hit $10 a barrel. Holy smokes. Now, for those of you who aren't aware and you don't live in California, because California, we were in the $3 range thanks to California's taxes. Thank you, Democrats. Anyways, we're now getting down around the 260s. There was a guy sending me a picture, and it's legit because they were talking about it on the news. It's spreading all over. It's making viral. Gas is below $1 in some places in the United States. Below $1 a gallon. I haven't seen below $1 since the early 90s. Literally, below $1. All right? So, although this benefits us, it hurts for those of us who invested in a dinar, because they rely on this to help strengthen their economies. What I'm hoping this does is make those politicians realize that they can't just rely on oil. They need to start developing the country and getting outside investors in, okay? Look, these people are in such an economical, financial crunch. They need to increase the rate. They need to increase it very soon before they can't recoup. They need to do this so they can start buying the things that they need to get the country kickstarted and rebuilding. All right, so as far as Iraq's concerned, there's not a lot going on right now. Just like everybody else, they're dealing with the coronavirus situation over there. It's the same everywhere. It's been kind of silent out there in the dinar community, but we all feel, I'd say 99% of us feel like for some reason this coronavirus is just a distraction. The the global economical crash we knew was coming. Again, they're going to use an epidemic or event like this as the excuse to crash the economy and push us into that new system. It was cryptocurrencies. They already attempted it. But I already seen several articles in which Trump's saying that ain't going to happen. He sees the need for it temporarily, but it is not going to be a long-term thing, in my opinion. So like I said, there's a window for us to take advantage of that. We'll jump all over it. Okay, now blockchain technology, again, is not the same thing. I did see several articles and read there. That does, in my opinion, look like something to really invest in. So I'll ask you guys out there, you crypto geeks, I'm sure there has to be some type of cryptocurrency or way to invest in just the blockchain technology without the cryptocurrency. Please leave a comment and let me know if that's possible, because I'm curious about it. All right. So in my opinion, gold and silver, again, I'm not an expert. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion. Right now, you should be trying to pump in as much money as you can into gold and silver. Buy fractionals. And what I mean by that is like a gram of them. Buy lots of grams. Don't buy the big ounces. Buy grams of the gold. And as far as silver is concerned, you should buy like $200-300 worth of the grams, and the rest should be the 1 ounce coins. Okay, buy them because they're going to keep going up. This is just, especially right now, JP Morgan, who's been suppressing the value of silver for so long, they're under investigation and they're being charged with a ton of criminal things. That means eventually they're going to have to stop selling puts or stop selling shorts on silver, and then that sucker's going to skyrocket. All right. Anyways, let me know what you think. Hopefully you hit a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. And like I said, in the description is the link to the Facebook as well as to the cryptocurrency website in which you can buy cryptocurrencies. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.